Welcome to Whispers of Wisdom, where powerful stories come alive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom-filled tales. Once upon a time, in a land surrounded by emerald green valleys and snow-capped mountains, there lay a kingdom known as Mehranpur. It was a prosperous land where rivers ran clear as crystal and fields of golden wheat swayed under the gentle breath of the wind. The people of Mehranpur were hard-working and loyal, yet their happiness often depended on the mood of their rulers. The king of this land, Raja Jalal, was a man of immense wealth and power, but his heart had long grown cold. Though he had once been fair and just, years of greed and flattery from cunning courtiers had hardened him. He measured worth in gold coins and silver jewels, and kindness was something he regarded as weakness. His subjects feared him, for he punished even the smallest mistakes with cruelty. Among the common folk of Mehranpur lived a humble young man named Ahsan. Orphaned at a young age, Ahsan survived by working as a helper in the village marketplace. He carried baskets for the elderly, fetched water for weary travelers, and mended broken tools for farmers. Though his wages were small, he was content, for his heart was rich with compassion. Every creature, be it man or animal, felt warmth in his presence. One morning, as the first rays of dawn kissed the horizon, Ahsan set out toward the forest to gather firewood for an old widow who could no longer walk far. He carried nothing but a rope and a small axe, humming a tune to himself. In the dense forest, where shadows played tricks with the eyes, Ahsan heard a faint cry. At first, he thought it was the wind sighing through the trees, but as he listened closely, he realized it was a whimper of pain. He followed the sound and discovered a small deer caught in a hunter's cruel snare. Its leg was bleeding, and its eyes shone with fear. Ahsan's heart ached. He knelt beside the trembling creature and whispered soothingly, "Do not fear, little one. I will not harm you carefully." He cut the rope of the snare and freed the deer. The animal stumbled, then looked back at Ahsan with gratitude before limping into the woods. Most villagers would have left the deer, for snares were common, and hunters were unforgiving if their traps were disturbed. But Ahsan could not bear to see suffering, no matter the risk. He gathered his firewood and returned to the village, unaware that this single act of kindness would change his destiny forever. Days passed, and word spread that the king was organizing a grand contest. A precious jewel from the royal treasury had been stolen, and the thief had vanished into the wilderness. Furious, Raja Jalal announced that whoever found the jewel and returned it would be richly rewarded. However, those who failed would face severe punishment. Many villagers trembled at the thought, for the king was known for his merciless temper. Ahsan paid little attention to such matters. His world revolved around helping others, not chasing wealth. Yet fate had other plans. One evening, as Ahsan rested beneath a banyan tree, a weary traveler approached him. The man's clothes were torn, his face pale with hunger. Without hesitation, Ahsan offered him the small loaf of bread he carried and shared his flask of water. The traveler ate with gratitude and revealed his story. He was no ordinary wanderer, but a messenger from a far-off land. Thieves had attacked him near Mehranpur, stealing not only his supplies, but also the sacred jewel he was carrying as a gift to Raja Jalal. Ahsan's eyes widened. The missing jewel. But instead of rushing to claim glory, he simply said, "Rest here, friend. I will help you recover what was lost." Guided by compassion rather than ambition, Ahsan set off into the forest that night. The moon hung low, silvering the leaves, Hours passed until he reached a clearing where rough voices echoed. Hiding behind a tree, Ahsan saw a band of thieves gathered around a fire. At their feet glittered the stolen jewel, glowing like a captured star. Most men would have panicked or returned for guards, but Ahsan's heart urged him to act wisely. Silently, he crept closer, noticing a cage nearby. Inside the cage, shivering with fear, was the same little deer he had once freed. The thieves had captured it, planning to feast on its flesh. Ahsan's heart burned. He could not abandon the helpless creature again. With courage, he waited until the thieves grew drunk on wine and laughter. Then with swift hands, he cut the cage open and freed the deer. To his astonishment, the animal did not flee into the woods. Instead, it nudged Ahsan gently, as if guiding him. The deer darted toward the jewel, and in the confusion of the drunken thieves, it kicked the glittering stone right into Ahsan's hands. Clutching the jewel, Ahsan and the deer slipped away into the night. When the thieves realized what had happened, it was too late. At dawn, Ahsan returned the jewel not to the king directly, but first to the weary messenger, saying, "This belongs to you. Deliver it with honor, thie."